Alright guys, in this video we're going to talk about messaging. So I showed you how to do friend requests. Now we're going to dive into the messages you can send. So right now, as of September 15th, 2020, you can only send a message with the initial friend request. We're going to look at doing some other ways to send messages, like when you get a friend request, when someone accepts your friend request, and stuff like that. But right now, what we have is an initial message. So that's the message that's going to go out with these message groups. So that's all you can select from here is message groups. So our final message that we put together, that we're going to build right now, needs to be in a message group. So how you find where to put those messages together, in the Chrome extension, which is this infinity icon with the two friends, you click up in your browser, click these 9 dots, these red dots up in the corner, and you'll see you have a few options here. You have message segments, message groups, and change password. So if you do want to change your password, that's where you can do that. You can update your old one and put in your new one right here and hit reset password. But we're going to focus on the messaging inside of Friend Connector Pro. So basically there's 2 ways to think about this. Message groups is your final message that's going to go out. Message segments are the pieces of your message that you're going to put together to form a message group. So I kind of drew this on the whiteboard just to make it make a little more sense. So we have message segments here, and I broke them down into 3 categories: intro, body, and outro. So inside of the intro message segment, we have these 3 variants. We have hey, first name, which will be customized to each person you send it to, what's up first name, and how's it going first name. So those are our intros. So each time we send a message, it'll have one of these 3 messages in it if we put this intro into a message group. So that's what we're going to do here. So that's the first piece of our message group, right? Then we have the body. So this is what you want to focus on customizing the most when you're targeting different groups of people. So you could do these based on the type of person, like accountant, realtor, artist, contractor, digital marketer, or it could be based on the group you're sending friend requests to. So it could be like ClickFunnels, wholesaling groups, real estate groups, music groups, artist groups. So you can include messaging inside of your segment based on the person or the group type that you're sending in. And this is going to be the meat of your message. So these are kind of simple. It's just a basic intro. And then we have the body, which will rotate. What I like about using a rotating body in my messaging is it's kind of split testing your ideas to see which message gets the best response from people. And then as you find 1 or 3 is performing better, you can kind of slice out the other ones that are underperforming and maybe replace them. Keep split testing your messaging and see which is getting a better response rate for you. And then the outro, you can have this be a static message, which I'll show you once we get into the message group functionality, or you can have these rotate as well. So it could be, hey, hope to chat soon, hope to connect soon, or thanks for the ad. And these will be one of the 3 options that rotate through. So again, the segments are like the Lego pieces, and the group is the combination of those segments or static text. So this last one, instead of using these variants, we could put a static outro like, thanks for the ad. And that's the only thing that will send every time. So we could delete this and move just this message here. And it could be a static text. And it would say, one of these 3, one of these 3, and it'll say this one every time. if that makes sense. So this one would be a static message. So let's pop open the actual extension here and show you how this works in real time. So go into message segments. You can see I have 4 of these set up. Intro, body, outro. I did a realtor intro. And how you add these is you just click this add button, enter your title, and message block. So the title could be realtor body, and the message block here, you can use these first and last name merge fields to customize your message. I did that on the intro, but this is going to be the body of my message. So I'm going to put a couple different messages here just for this demo. Do this one. It says, I saw you were in real estate and wanted to connect. Are you doing this full time or more as a side hustle? So that's one of my messages. And I'll add one more here. And if you guys are targeting realtors, this is kind of a pro tip. Check out this Lab Coat Agent Facebook group. Lots of realtors in there. And most of them are committed. They're into growing their business and technology and stuff like that. So it's a good place to be. So I saw you in the Lab Coat Agent Facebook group. I just joined to learn more about the agent side, but have been an investor for a while. So those are my 2 variants of my body. I'm going to hit save, and now there that is. Now what you can do is see this little eye. You can click that and it will scroll through your variants of the message. So you know that's what's inside of that message segment. Same thing for this realtor intro that I did earlier. I can scroll through and see what's inside that. So I have 3 variations of my realtor intro, 3 variations of my realtor body, and my outro just has 1 right now. So we're going to combine these into a message group. So if we back out here to message groups, you can see I already had this one in here. And if you hit view, it's just going to scroll through the first message of each segment or static text. So it doesn't show you exactly what's inside each variation. You have to look in the segment portion to scroll through and see what all will randomize. But that gives you an overview of kind of how the flow of the message will go. So we're going to create a new one here, and it's going to be Lab Coat Agents. We'll hit insert. We have 3 options: message segment, static text, and keywords. So message segment are the ones we just created. Static text will give you the same message every time. So it's not going to rotate. It'll just be the same. That could be used for an intro, outro if you wanted instead of rotating. I like to do the rotating intros just to keep it interesting. And keywords, those are going to be first name and last name. So you can use those in your message group as well as the segment. So we're going to select segment. We'll go realtor intro. And we'll also select realtor body. So now we have the first part of the message, the second part of the message, and we can select a third one as well, which would be either the outro or a static text. So we're going to select outro there, and we'll click add. And now we hit save message group. So now we've got 2 different message groups here. So now we've got 2 message groups. If we go back to our whiteboard, this one goes here, this one goes here, this one goes here. So we did end up using the outro instead of a static message. But notice you can make any combination or number of segments and any combination of message groups. So we can have various bodies for different targeting, same as intros and outros if we want, or we can just reuse these in each message group. So that's pretty common to reuse these ones, but the body is going to be the meat of your message group. At least that's how I use the message function. So now, under message groups in our actual extension, we have both options to select. So if I choose lab coat agents, we can go into that group and run the extension. If I choose ClickFunnels, we can stay in this group and run the extension. So again, as I said, you want to run this really between the 5 and 10 minute intervals. For the demo only, I'm running in this and limiting it. I'll do it to 3 requests actually, since I'm sending messages with it. And we'll resume from our last position. I'll do 20. And I'll leave the keywords off here as well. Now let's put a keyword in. We'll do real estate agent and owner. So we'll run with these keywords, and now it's only going to add people with those keywords. So my first one was John because he had owner. Notice it skipped all of these who did not meet these 3. Now this is the message function. The request has already been sent. Now it's sending a a message. It's customized to the contact and also rotates these 2 message groups or segments. So same thing, another 15 to 18 seconds. We found another person. This one's a different variation. This one looks the same. I think in ClickFunnels I only have 1 body and 1 outro. So only my intro might rotate. Oh no, I did add another one. So that's the second body segment. And those are the 3 requests that we sent. So she had our keyword. He had our keyword, real estate. And so did John St. John. So you don't have to leave these tabs open. Once you've sent that message, you can go ahead and close these. These will actually show up in Messenger now as outgoing messages. So you can close those tabs. Remember, if you have Genius Messenger CRM, all of those now can be tagged and coded. So if you open up your Messenger group, let's see, we'll pick this one and hit send message. Those are all our recent friend requests. So we can put them all as cold leads. And now inside of Genius Messenger CRM, they're going to be found under this tab. So if we get a response, we could then move them to warm lead, so on and so forth through the pipeline, however it works for you. So we did all of our prospecting on autopilot. All we had to do was open Friend Connector in the right place at the right time, send the right message, and click a button. Friend Connector is going to work for us. Then Genius Messenger CRM is going to keep us organized, right? So eventually we want the 2 software to be talking to each other. That's further down the roadmap. It's not going to be version 1. But eventually, as soon as someone comes into your pipeline, they'll be tagged with one of these tags. It could be a cold cold lead, however you set that up, to automatically filter themselves through this pipeline. So that's going to be a powerful feature in the future. So hopefully that made more sense with message segments and message groups. Again, you build the segments to have variations in them. The body is going to be the meat of your message, and that's where you can split test different messages. And once you create a message group, you can select it from the drop down. That's it for message groups. We're going to go into deleting pending friend requests and a couple things to wrap up Friend Connector. And then I'll do a video on kind of how I target groups, what messaging I think you should try if you're going to use the message function, and how to get the most out of Friend Connector. So let's jump into that next video.